What's going on, everybody? It's me, Jonathan Thompson with Market Menace Trading. Welcome to another episode. Real quick, I just want to do a quick update of what I'm seeing on the charts here. Bitcoin's had a couple of huge moves today. I'm up about 800 on the day as of right now. Took a couple L's on the back end of the chop that was coming down. Really important move happening now, though. So after we just had a really powerful move up, we ended up falling back down, closing all kinds of imbalances to the downside. Now what I'm starting to see is I'm starting to see very nice reversal, or at least the makings of one. So we have the market structure shift here. Or I'm sorry, we had the swing high that was here. We just had the market structure shift there on the break, and we are starting to put in really nice structure that is improving, higher highs, higher lows. So now what I'm looking for confirmation of reversal, is going to be a new bullish break of structure right here on that line. So let me go ahead and get rid of the ones from before. That's what I'm looking for. I've already had the market structure shift. We are retesting it a few times. So now what I'm looking for is I want to see bullish continuation here. And then I will start looking for fair value gap entry for reversal to the upside. I've already had a fair value gap filled here, but I haven't really had the energetic move that I need in order to verify that this is in fact going to get continuation to the upside. A couple things that I'm watching for, a couple areas that are going to be very important are going to be stemming from this swing high here we just retested $31,040, which is the swing high for the month of April. We've been above this recently, but it's definitely a very important area. So I will be using this as an anchor point here. I will be on the lookout for resistance here. But that's about $250 away. So that's a lot of real estate to just let run. So what I'm looking for now is something that confirms a nice entry here, because the last thing I want to do is buy here and then have this pull back too violently. We are just now trying to get over the 9 and the 20 exponential. So that's what I'm looking for. Now we might be having a bit of a consolidation here, but it's kind of, it's definitely a consolidation. I just don't know how it's going to behave. So I'm just trying to prepare for every situation. I want to see where the support, I want to see where the resistance is just here. And these are where retail traders are going to be putting their stop losses. So that's arguably a sell side liquidity sweep, but it's kind of weak. What I really want to see is, number one, I want to see us get back above the market structure shift here. I don't want to get faked out with the move coming up here, testing, breaking above this, getting a head fake, and then on the retest get completely rejected, and then we continue the move down. That is not what I want to see happen here. I want to go long on Bitcoin always, because when the bulls get super excited about Bitcoin, there is very little that will stop them. Now, there's a few things that are playing in favor of taking a long position here. Number one, the overall trend of the day was way up, so the bulls are paying attention. That's kind of a psychological aspect of this. But as far as the chart is concerned, I'm looking at this. I have a clear downtrend making its way down here. The big powerful push down, right? I'm starting to put in higher lows, and I'm starting to get the market structure shift. And I also, now because the move was so powerful, I have multiple fair value gaps that need to get filled. I have this here, which is actually a bearish fair value gap, so I'll mark that red. Okay, that's going to be attracting price. This has been closed. And we also have this one right here. So there are two pretty good size fair value gaps. This has almost been filled. One could argue that it has been mitigated at this point. As a matter of fact, I am going to make that argument that we went far enough into that fair value gap that I would consider it to be mitigated. Looks like I have a couple legacy resistance lines drawn here. I want to see what those are before I continue. Okay, so that was what I was watching as we made the move up. I mean, look at that move. My goodness. Like, just a huge push up to 31K, monster push back down to 30,163. I mean, that is just a huge amount of volatility. I mean, Bitcoin is just head faking and rolling people's ankles left and right. Now, on the 15-minute, that's a bit of a different story. Man, there are so many areas that are getting tested right now. This is the apex of the consolidation pattern we've been in for the last 3 days, right here. So that was the break. I mean, we had the head fake down, the really violent move up, and then push back down. Now, what's really crazy about that is we are actually still putting in higher lows from the head fake to the downside today, where we hit 29,935. You know, we are still putting in higher lows there. That's actually where we got the bounce on that trend line. So it's kind of up in the air, but I can tell you this, we have a really, really big 15-minute fair value gap right here that is not hardly tested at all at this point. So when I look at the 15-minute, I mean, that looks so bad. I mean, that gives a real case for continuation to the downside. But this was such a violent move that I'm surprised that Bitcoin hasn't had some form of a rebound in order to fill some of it. I mean, that's nothing. Like, I can't believe that there's that much of an imbalance that has not been mitigated yet. And it's been, over an hour since that happened. So we may end up getting that now, but I guess we'll see. I definitely want to be ready to take a trade on this, because that huge hourly fair value gap, which is actually like stems all the way up to here, I mean, that is going to attract price. I mean, straight up, that is going to attract the price. And I want to be positioned well to do that. So very fine line that I'm trying to walk here. We just kind of so we broke down below this trend line and we just got rejected on it. Man, a short certainly is looking pretty good here, actually. There isn't really a fair value gap here for me to enter on for a short. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start looking for support on order blocks. So I'll use the wick only order block here. Go ahead and hopefully everyone's going to be able to see that there. And then I have another one that's actually a larger one right here. So those are the areas I'm looking for. This is going to be the new point of interest. I think this might be a little sell side liquidity sweep. It would be suicide for me to enter along while it's below this trend line. That would be crazy. But if it gets back above these moving averages, I'm going to be looking for it to put in like what I call like a little halfway bullish break of structure. Now, technically it would be taking out this little swing high, but that one doesn't matter. This one matters. Because if it breaks here, then that means it has set a higher high. But if it breaks here, it's going to let me know that we are likely going to try to break this here. So I want to be in a trade somewhere in that area right there, preferably over this 50 exponential moving average on a 1 minute time frame. There is a little bit of buying pressure here too. I mean, that is technically a higher low. So I want to see if maybe I can, make an adjustment here that, justifies something like that. I guess that would be fine. A little sell side liquidity sweep there, draw it from the candle body. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good actually. So now all I'm doing is I'm just looking for reasons not to enter the trade. And right now I'm having a hard time finding them. I suppose breaking this trend line right now, which it looks like what's about to do to the upside, will likely cause a rechallenge of the market structure shift here. Probably break the little halfway bullish break of structure, hopefully setting a higher high and at least taking these ones out. So we have a chance to come up and break the more important bullish break of structure. And that would be the safe way to take the trade. safe way to take the trade. There really is no safe way to take a trade. Trading's never safe. All right, so we did break this trend line, so that's step one. Step two, I want to see a market structure shift get supported, and I want to see this bullish break, this little halfway bullish break of structure get taken out at 30,350. That's what I'm looking for. And while that's happening, I'm setting up my trade. Let's start talking about that. There's no way I'm taking this trade prior to us breaking the market structure here. I will, however, start looking for an entry if we break this, because I think if we do break this, it's going to be very, very quick test of this. And if we have an energetic move like that, it will likely set a new bullish break of structure. It will likely set a new high and may cause the bulls to rally. And I don't want to buy up here at 30,411 when I could get in here at about 30,350, which is a much better entry, because at least then I'll be protected by some form of, the swing high here, or, the fair value gap here on this side, which on the 1 minute is not closed. So that's what I'm waiting on. I want to start seeing that. I want to start seeing good setups. I want high quality setups that are likely to be profitable. That's what I'm looking for. And don't get me wrong, it is very tempting to take a trade like this. It is very tempting to take a trade down in this area, but this could roll over way too easily, particularly because we've put in lower highs here. So I'm looking for support here. Here comes the market structure shift. So what I will do is I will take a trade below this liquidity, will be my stop loss. Let's go ahead. Okay, leverage is at 50x. And here's my disclaimer. Guys, number one, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research and trade at your own risk. I'm not a financial manager. I am not a portfolio manager, only my own portfolio. And I only speak for myself personally and Market Menace Trading. Okay. So yes, please do your own research and exercise strong trade mechanics and risk management. Okay. Okay. Glad I didn't take that trade yet. You see how easily this can roll over? I mean, this is not done. And I'm going from the swing high here. And yes, technically that means it's breaking out. But very often what I see is the candles leading up to the swing high of the pattern very often end up being like secondary resistance. So it's way too easy for something to, look like it's breaking out on that first trend line. And then it comes up here and just stutters, and you're starting to wonder why. And you realize when it's too late that it is actually the primary resistance is going to be from a lower anchor point. So that's what I'm really looking for, is all the reasonable areas of resistance get taken out. I'm very glad so far that I have not taken that trade. That is looking a little toppy. If that comes down to the trend line, that's actually a really good head and shoulders. However, the neckline is higher. That neckline is rising, which means that the bulls are getting stronger every single time it gets rejected. And you can see that demonstrated on the relative strength index as well. So everything looks decent for a good reversal, especially on the 3 minute right there. That's a really nice wick right there. But again, it's too easy to mess this up. It's too easy to get tricked, to get head faked into a bad position. So I'm looking for, there's the market structure shift there. That's good. It's a good start. So you see, perfect example right here. So that is a perfect example of secondary anchor points acting as resistance. Because if you remember, originally I had this drawn here, and it looked as if it was breaking out. And yes, technically it was, and technically it is, but this immediately acted as resistance on the way up. So to me, this is the more important because it's the resistance that it's going to encounter later, as opposed to the very first breakout. But I mean, it does seem to be improving or trying to improve. That's a nice touch there. That's the 3 minute. That's a really nice candle right there, with that long, long downside wick. I mean, that means that there was, a push down and it got bought pretty much right back up. And now we have tested this resistance. So again, I cannot justify taking this trade until I see confirmation that we are breaking this market structure. I mean, I simply won't. I will not take the trade until I see that happen. And it's so tempting too. And maybe that means I missed the trade. But if I end up missing the trade, then I will simply wait for a pullback, a new fair value gap, or a new strong order block to enter on. I mean, it's just way too easy to get tricked into a crappy position. Like, it's too simple. So I will wait until I get some sort of a break, at least of, well, first of all, of this trend line, and also the market structure shift. Now, after the market structure shift, I will probably enter very, very quickly, particularly when it takes this out. So you can see that my entry is going to be at about 30,352. And that's for two reasons. Number one, it will have broken the market structure here and the little midway bullish break of structure. But also, it will be over 30,050 or 30,350. So if it's going to get supported on 30, I can see that I got rejected there before at 30,356. So hopefully, if we do get back above that, then that will turn into support and protect my stop loss. That's what I'm thinking about. Now, this is a pretty big trade that I'm sizing up here. I mean, this is a 50x levered trade with, I think, probably like $1,500 I'm going to do it with. So, I mean, you're looking at about, quick math, this is about a $75,000 trade. So it should be about, 2.74 Bitcoin on this trade. So I want to make sure my entry's good because it's just, I want to make sure that my entry and my stop loss are well planned because it is just way too easy to get destroyed here. Are we above the 1 and the 2? Okay, so we are above those. On the 1 minute, I am putting in higher lows, but I'm looking for something that curves up a little bit, not this rolling over kind of shape that you're getting there. That shows weakness when you get things like this that kind of roll over like that. So now instead, what I'm looking for and what I'm hoping to find is something that goes like this and then curves up. That's what I want to see. And ultimately, I want it to take out this bullish break of structure and the market structure shift there. That's what I want to see. So easy to get faked out in this market, man. When Bitcoin chops around like that, I mean, you have to wait. And it's tough because, I mean, very often you'll see a move like that, a move that you think is coming, and you'll want to take the trade. I mean, I do this all the time, like, where you will see and you can almost feel what Bitcoin's about to do. When you spend a lot of time on this chart, you start to recognize how it moves. And it's obviously that's not guaranteed, but it just, it's kind of like a spider sense. You'll just kind of know, like, I'm pretty sure that we're going to come up and test this here. And the fact that we didn't get a full decline down to the bottom trend line means we are probably going to get that market structure shift now. And my guess is when that breaks, it's going to come up here. Maybe I'll have a split second to get that trade off. And then we are probably going to get a nice quick snap move up to 30,000 385. So I am waiting. Here it comes. Here comes the market structure shift. Testing the moving average. I'm probably going to buy as soon as we take that out, actually. So let me mark it so I can see it clearly when it happens. It's going to be quick, I can tell you that. There it is. I get it. I get it? I did get it. All right, cool. So now I just have to survive the next 15 seconds. We'll go to close. And I don't want it that shallow. Where is it going to be fine at? Man, it's tough. This is a tough one. 3-0. Sorry about that. 291. Right. That will be for the full amount. Okay, so there's the stop loss. I want to start mitigating soon. We do have the market structure shift right there. We need to break that little halfway point and then come challenge this swing high here at 30,384. When we break the 30,384, I will adjust stop loss probably into profit, depending on how high it is. That's nice, though. That is a higher high than this. So that's good to see. That is trying to get that market structure shift. I am a little concerned about a coming down on a shoulder to form another inverse head and shoulders, but ultimately that would be a good pattern for me. An inverse head and shoulders would mean a pretty strong move to the upside is likely. What is that right there? That must be the pattern, the legacy support for the whole pattern. What are you? It's a little frustrating when you switch. Wow, that's very frustrating. When you switch time frames and you get different charts. That's one thing that I don't like. What are you? I think it's the most outermost part of that pattern. Did I just extend it out? I don't think that's even. I think that feels like a glitch. Okay, yeah, okay, there it is. That is the, it was kind of glitching a little bit. So that is the apex of the big consolidation pattern we've been in for a while. So we're getting that move past the halfway point. That's a good halfway bullish break of structure, but this is the one that matters. So that's what I'm looking for. We're up 54 on the trade as of right now. I will mitigate. I will put this at break even right there, or just below break even. Yeah. Hopefully we get the continuation up. I think we probably, especially if we take out that little immediate swing high that we, and there it is. So now we are looking for that bullish break of structure here. We're up 73 on the trade, which doesn't mean anything until I can get that stop loss a little bit higher. I'm not setting to take profits because Bitcoin is too violent right now. There's no point. I'm just going to adjust stop loss higher and higher as needed and do my best. Man, that's going to come back. 80. Okay, so there's about 100 or so. I will put this just below the previous market structure shift, the previous bullish break of structure. So I'm looking for the challenge here. We're up 119 on the trade. I'm going to bring this up as high as I can, right there. And then if it crashes back down, I will get probably a better entry right there. Okay, so that's going to stop me out. I'm going to prepare my next trade, because I'm I'd be surprised if that doesn't trigger. 3, 2, 1, and we're out. Okay, so it's about $100 right there. So now I am looking for the retest here of the previous market structure shift, and I am waiting with my finger on the button. Man, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and take that trade there. And I'm going to start trying to march this up. I'm going to put my stop loss very tight, just underneath the 9 exponential. And that's going to be 344 for the full amount. I'll get that ready. What just happened? Did you just dump my trade? Oh my god, I dumped my own trade. Way to go, Thompson. I forgot to switch it to trigger, and I accidentally just closed my own trade, which means I just wiped out a super good entry. Great job. One more. Let's try this again and pretend like I'm not completely incompetent. That would be sweet. Go to close, go to trigger this time. Oh, I can't believe I did that. It sucks. I hate it when stuff like that happens. 348. All right. Still trying to get a little bit used to MEXC a little bit. All right. Hopefully we get the bounce there. 34. All right. So we have challenged the previous swing high. Got a little bit of a pullback, and then we actually had a pretty nice 1 minute candle there with a lot of buying pressure. If we set a higher low here, I think it's very likely. Yeah. All right. I think we'll come back down to the 9 exponential real quick. Hopefully we get the bounce there, and then the reattack on the previous swing high here. After that, I guarantee you we're going to run into trouble here. So if we can break that, the area right here, we have the 100 exponential moving average up next. So I'll be looking for interaction there. That especially makes sense to me because we had a wick here on the way down. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. So I will mark that as resistance because I'm pretty sure that that's going to have an interaction of some kind. So I'll go ahead and mark that there. That's probably going to be a bit of a nightmare, actually, because that was a pretty powerful bounce that we had on that. And also, it's being reinforced by the 100 exponential moving average. Also, directly above it is the absolute apex of the pattern. Now, the cool thing about setups like this, even though they look kind of terrible, they look a little scary because you know that it has a lot to get through. When things are like really, really stacked that tightly, the cool thing is when Bitcoin breaks it, if it can get through it, then there's not really a lot to stop it. And that's when you get really, really strong moves. I'm looking for an interaction there. If we can, blow through all that, I mean, 30,005, 30,007, up here would be one hell of an important move. If we can get back above 30,590, that was this swing high here before the dump. So that would completely mitigate all of these fair value gaps to the downside, and I think that we would probably get a really strong move from Bitcoin, probably breaking 31K. So there's the nice bullish break of structure. We finally got it, so now we're going to come up and interact with this. We're up 40 on this trade. I will mitigate, particularly because it's coming to such an important area. I'm going to put this right here below the 9 exponential moving average. So my losses are pretty well mitigated. It's very tight, though, very tight stop loss, because it's an area that it's likely to get rejected on. So I want to see that push. I want to see a really, really strong push. It's going to have to do better than that, I can tell you that. And it's great that it, broke that and everything, but, all right, so that's up 80. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this underneath here, actually, because I do want to make something on this. Because if it gets rejected hard enough, I will just be able to re-enter. Good volatility, I think. Went right up to that 100 exponential. I told you, man. It's going to do that. It's going to interact with those moving averages. And actually, I marked that incorrectly. That's also dead center of the wick here. All right, so we'll stop there. Quick little like $20 or something. So now what I'm looking for a retest here. Boy, that might even come back down to here. I think it will. Yeah. All right, so I'll go limit. And I'm just waiting. I mean, it's going to be in this area somewhere, I think. But we'll see. If it gets supported on the 9 EMA, then that might be an even better entry. That's an equal move. That's an equal move. Oh, get it. Come on. Okay, I'm in that trade. I'm gonna pull this way down. We're getting another reattack of that little swing high there. So I want this at 30,000. 349. Whoa, not 300,000. Be a hell of a stop loss. Okay, go ahead, get that ready. So that's going to be here. So what I'm hoping is that the 9 EMA will continue to hold. If that fails, I would like to see the yellow 21 exponential moving average here. We have also, by getting rejected here, I can just go ahead and get rid of this because the actual zone that we have to break, the more important area, is going to be right there. Man. Bring it down a little bit, not much though. Like I'll give it a chance here on the previous bullish break of structure and the 2 moving averages, but I'm not going deeper on a stop loss than that. Kind of got a bit of a head fake there with the bounce on the 9 exponential. So, you know, I'm trading very, very tightly. So it's you know, there's not really a lot of room for error here. Are there any imbalances? Is an order block there, but I mean, if it hits here, it's going to hit there, so there's no point in adjusting. All right, well, let's just hope that will get a nice bounce. Hopefully I'm going to be protected here. A rejection on that usually means I'm not going to. Did we get any bounces on any other moving averages? The 5 exponential moving average is right here. Excuse me, the 9 exponential on the 5-minute chart is right here, so that may help. Unfortunately, I am dead center in the middle of an imbalance on a 5-minute chart. So I'm really hoping that that 5 exponential, that 9 exponential on the 5-minute chart, I'm hoping that holds. Because I really don't want to start giving back all the gains I had today. I've had a good day. And honestly, I think if this trade fails and maybe one more after this, I will probably call it a day. Because the last thing I want to do is give back all of the gains that I just had. You know, at one point today I was up about 1,100. So the last thing I want to do is just turn around and just give back like 600 bucks of it. Like, I don't want to do that. All right, if that's the case, then I am going to just do make this my last trade then. I'll put it down here. Give it the best possible opportunity to get a recovery. So there's the 5 exponential, or the 9 exponential on the 5-minute chart trying to do its thing. So it's probably a bad idea to buy at that point. What I don't want to see happen now, though, is I don't want to see it continue this trend line, which it may very well do. And if that happens, then it's absolutely going to trigger that. What's my risk reward at? I didn't even set an upside target, actually, now I think about it. My upside target is going to be this order block right here. So what's that give me? Is that 4-1 if I pull that down there? All right, do I have 3-1 if I can get it below that trend line? 3.5-1 or 3.15. That's not terrible. All right. And then if the trade fails, this will be my last trade of the night. So we'll see what happens. Hoping to catch a really nice pump here. I mean, we are at the absolute apex of a multi-day consolidation. Like, real quick, if I show you the 4-hour, I mean, we are trading right at the apex of that. So I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think that the apex is going to be weak. I mean, it's already failed once and twice to be support or resistance. So I think that there's a really good chance that we do get continuation. I'm going to tell you this right now. If we do start to, like, there's about 45 minutes left in this 4-hour candle, left in the day, actually. So if we can put a nice bottom wick on this candle, it doesn't even have to flip green, but if we can put a nice bottom wick on here, we will probably get a move up, at least to challenge 31K. My guess, though, is that if we can break 31K, we are probably going to come up here to 31.6 and test the absolute top of the entire pattern. And so this could be setting up a move I mean, my upside targets beyond that are going to be north of 34,000. So, I mean, just to put that in perspective, in the event that we had a move like that, wow, that'd be like a $3,000 move. So I'd make about $8,500 on that trade if that happened. So that would be a nice trade. It's a big if, always is. So I mean, in my opinion, I've given my stop loss the best possible chance of survival here. But even right there, even just on that moving average, that is I'm at 109 in the red on this particular trade right now. But I'm actually okay with it at the moment because I think we are just confirming our market structure shift. As long as we hold support over this yellow line here, the market structure shift, I'll feel much, much better. Now, if we don't, I'll be relying on the drawn support of the pattern here to hold. And that would be this right here. So I'd be looking for that to hold. Now, if that fails, I mean, I'm pretty much smoked at that point. There's not really much that can save me after that. But we are back above the 9 exponential moving average on the 1 minute chart. I am looking for a bullish break of structure right here, which is simultaneously in that moving average, the 100 moving average, and the apex, and also the fact that that was the swing high. So there's a lot there. And also, immediately following that, we will run into the support for the little short-term downtrend we've been in for the last hour and a half. Now, all of that just sounds awful. I mean, it really does. It sounds like a really rough place. However, if it can get through there, even just a little bit through there, I mean, there's not really a lot to stop us. That feels like a nice bounce. I would like to see us get back above the previous market structure or the break of structure here. But most importantly is to break this. And sooner rather than later would be better, because the longer we wait, the lower the 100 exponential moving average gets. And that creates additional space. Okay, are we going to confirm you? Need to set a higher low there. Got 40 seconds to make that look nice. It's a lifetime. Got to set a higher low than that. Or at a minimum have to hold support on the market structure shift. So now we wait. Okay. Back above the 21. I'll get back above the 9. The white line, I want to see it get back above the 9 there. That's a close below the 9 EMA, but it's a nice bottom wick. Very indecisive. Market's trying to figure out what's going on. All things considered, I still like my entry where it is. I really don't see a better place to enter based on the information that I had. I mean, I suppose I could have waited until we got a push down here, but that's a very, very small order block, or fair value gap. It's only like $5. So, I mean, that's not even important, even remotely, which means that the only place that it would have made sense for me, had I not taken this trade here, would have been to take it right here. So at 30,309 or so. So about $50 less. But I don't know. We had already blasted from that area. And we had just broken, I took that trade on this candle, which had just broken the previous swing high, this previous market structure shift. So, given that this is now, if it, at the time we had put in multiple higher lows after a large pullback, I have the fair value gap to the upside, which actually is now the first fair value gap is now officially closed with that swing high there. Which means that we do have this one now, which hopefully will act as a magnet and drive that price up there. That's what I'm looking for. That is a bearish fair value gap. That is a imbalance in the market. That is an inefficiency. I want to see it get filled. Okay, that looks oddly reminiscent of this right here. I mean, it's almost identical. It's almost the exact same move. So now I need support on the market structure here. That would be very bullish. Or at the very least, support on this. Failing both of those, it would happen in a split second if it happens. So I'll have very little time to react. Not that I would even want to react beyond that. So, I mean, that's 150 right there. So, I mean, I do still have a little bit of protection. I have this here. I also have, what about the 5 minute? Were we getting a bounce on that before? No, we've been rejected on that. I do have this 200 or 300 exponential moving average here on the 5 minute, but I mean, that already got disrespected so many times. I don't hold any, I don't think they really hold any water. Would like to get supported on this here. You know, maybe a little sell side liquidity sweep and a push back up, because so far we have still put in higher highs and higher lows. It's close. It's really, really close. Okay, hopefully that was just a sell side liquidity sweep. Let's look at the 3 minute. Okay, so there's not really a wick. I'm looking for a wick. 5 minute gives me a wick. But, I mean, it's not going to matter if I can't get back above the 9 exponential on the 5 minute chart. So I'm going to have to see that. So we're pretty close. I mean, we're very, very close. So right now my stop loss is at 30,301.50. So, I mean, what's the difference? I'm going to just stick it just a little bit more below 30,300. Put it at like 30,298 or 296 rather. Right around there. Because that will give it a chance to retest 30,300. I'm just trying to, you know, put psychologically significant things between the current price and my stop loss. I want my stop loss to survive. That could be a nice move, but we got to get back above that right there. Now, that is a test of this trend line, so hopefully it will be the third swing low, higher low. And then we will continue on. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because it's not really relevant anymore. This is the point we have to take out. So that's what I'm looking for. I mean, so far, Bitcoin hasn't done anything in this pattern, or it's not doing anything right now that it has not already done. It had the swing high, it pushed down, started forming the support, rallied up, had a big wick on top, pushed down, pretty solid move down to the trend line. This one happened a little bit faster and then got bought right back up. But then it broke that structure again, set a new swing high, pulled back down to the trend line. So now I'm hoping that that trend will continue and we will go ahead and get above some of these moving averages and make another attempt here on the little swing high that we have here. I mean, there's a lot of resistance here. I mean, this is kind of a nightmare. It is. I mean, it was probably not a good idea to buy here in the interest of transparency. Got 1 minute left to go. Okay, that's starting to look nice. It looks like we're starting to come back a little bit. I was down about 180 on the trade. I'm at negative 67 right now, so it is starting to get back to my entry. But I have no hope here. I have no false hope because there is an absolute nightmare of resistance incoming right here. I mean, this is the swing high that we set like a few hours ago, back at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern. So we hit like 31,000, and then we bounced here to dropped what, 300 bucks or so, and then had a tank. So right now, what we're starting to see is that this is getting filled back in. Now, what time frame did that happen on? Is it the 1 minute, the 3 minute? Where was it? Okay, that's a 3 minute. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the fair value gap here on the 3 minute time frame because I am pretty sure that there is a better one. Yeah, we are still, so on a 5 minute chart, this is a really big imbalance, and we are not even halfway through it at this point. Okay, so I have a huge inefficiency here that we are still, as a matter of fact, that we have only just entered. This could very well just, fill about 30% of this thing, 25% of this thing, and then just turn right around and dump. I mean, we definitely had a lot of selling pressure. I mean, we did on the RSI on the 5 minute. I mean, we got all the way down to 19 points, which is about 10 points oversold. My mouse just froze out of nowhere. It sucks. There we go. Okay. Trying to hold above that 9 exponential on the 5 minute chart. So far, that's kind of double. Man, that did a couple things. I mean, that's testing the bottom of the fair value gap for support. It's also testing the market structure shift, and it's testing this trend line. So, I mean, there is a lot going on in this little range, man. I mean, you're talking about multiple key moving averages, man, all in a range of like 300 or 30,318 up until 30,465. So I mean, this like $130, $125 range or whatever is a minefield. It absolutely is. I mean, I have the apex of the entire pattern that I showed you a minute ago. I got all the moving averages. I have a really powerful move down. And I also have this resistance right here. So in my opinion, actually the most important thing to break right now is actually this resistance. I think that because the apex of the pattern has been broken so many times, and that's here, okay, this right here, because that's already been broken and disrespected multiple times, I don't think that it's going to have too big of an impact. So to me, the most important thing that needs to get broken here is the downward trending resistance. So if we're going to have any chance of filling this fair value gap. Now, let me tell you something. That's a powerful move. Like, I mean, this is a huge fair value gap here. You're looking at a range from the bottom of that gap to the top. I mean, that's $220, which is, relative to what Bitcoin's been doing recently. That's actually a pretty big move, aside from the moves that it's had today. So, yeah, I mean, that would be nice to have that close. If that gets closed, I mean, this is one of the bigger fair value gaps in the last few days. So if that gets closed so quickly, I mean, that actually is a really bullish sign. And, at that point, I would start sizing up this little swing high here, 30,700. I mean, that's a $400 move. So, I got basically 3 Bitcoins there. So, I mean, that's, that'd be a $1,200 trade for me if that came up there and challenged that. So let's go ahead and put that as the swing high. The 30,726. That's my big target. And that gives me 3.65 to 1 risk reward. So, I mean, that's pretty nice. Okay, let's zoom back in on the 5 minute. I really want to see structure starting to be put in well on a 5 minute. And this looks actually starting to look kind of nice. It looks like it's trying to hold support on this trend line right here. That's what I wanted to see. We are definitely testing this, and this is the first confirmed test of that, at least on the 5 minute. Let me see if I zoom in a little bit more. If we had another test and got rejected. So okay, this is the first time we've actually tested it since we initially dropped. So let's see what happens. On the 1 minute, there's something pretty clear. I have a flat termination point here, a horizontal termination point, and I'm putting in higher lows. If it rejects here, I'm looking for support. I mean, as long as it sets a higher low than this swing low, I think it will probably get a chance to break it. Okay, slide this over a little bit so we can actually see. And also, we just held that market structure shift and have also, as of right now, held support on the bottom of this fair value gap. Okay. So I will run a Fibonacci on this because I want to see where the golden pocket is going to run in. Of course, it's exactly where we are. So just on the short term, just going from the swing high we set here at 30,400 to the bottom anchor point of 30,324. So I mean, just a little $75 range or so. But we are testing the golden pocket of that $75 range right now. So we need to get back above that, particularly because we're also simultaneously testing that longer, the shorter term trend line to the downside from the big dump that we just had. Seeing a bit of a inverse head and I don't want to call it an inverse head and shoulders because it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. I mean, you got this right here. So hopefully we get that break there. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we have, I mean, it's tough to say that we broke this trend line. We kind of just floated through it. Breaking is when it will actually push. So, I mean, it just didn't go up or down. It just kind of went sideways, and then the next candle started to print. So, that's not volume. That's not confirmation of any kind. Trying to scope out the order book to see if maybe I can see something. I mean, the bulls have huge orders, 106 to 8, versus the bears from 30,360 to 30,362. So it's tough to say what's going to happen. That was a nice little push down, actually. I like that. That could be the low or the higher low from here that I was just saying I wanted. Which is a good indication that we're going to retest this. And if we do, then there, is a really nice chance, that we are going to come back up and try to break this bullish break of structure here, the previous swing high, which will demonstrate a bullish break of structure. Sorry. Now I know that the golden pocket is right here when I measure from here to here, but I wonder, where does this line up? And I bet you it's on top of the golden pocket if I measure from here to here. And it is. So that pullback tested the golden pocket, which ended up holding. Pushed up, came back down, tested it again. Set a higher low, really respected the golden pocket on this one. So where does the 1618 Fibonacci extension lead? Right through that pattern, right through the whole thing. Right here's the 1618. That's at 30,460. Okay. One more retest, one more scare. That's already at 112. That is way too big. I'm moving this up. I will put it here on this order block. No higher. I mean, it's still a nasty loss, and I will definitely be done trading for the day if that happens. Like, I'm not chopping around with Bitcoin today. No, thank you. Like, I already had a good day. Like, I'll get some food. I'll relax. I'll keep watching, but I'm not going to continue to trade into chop like that. Like, especially after having a good day. July's been a rough month, man. It definitely has. July has been one of the worst months starts I've had in a really long time. I think I'm down like 3,000 or 4,000 so far. I mean, it's rough. Like, today was a good day so far, and it was one of the few good ones. This is going to stop me right out, and I'm done trading. That's going to be a $200, $220 L. Gross, 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 man. Man. Can't believe it. Can't believe that trend line failed there. Or are you just a sell side liquidity sweep to screw with me? If so, hopefully this holds. It would be nice to get a bounce there, and if it does, I mean, that's all the way nice. You want to, I mean, you kind of want to see the sell side liquidity get taken. It just sucks when you're part of it. So that is kind of support on the 300 exponential on the 5-minute chart, which is useless. Hopefully it holds. I guess we'll see. Technically, it is still a higher low than here, though. Although I'll be honest, I feel like that right there, if it comes up here and fails, that is a textbook head and shoulders top, and we will almost assuredly get a dump down. Boy, I really want to mitigate these losses, but I got to get it back above some important areas. I mean, that just fell below the market structure shift, too. Seconds to go in this trade, or in this candle. It feels like a head fake. Just feels like a quick wick. Feels like a quick sell side liquidity sweep. Just to wreck everybody for a second before moving. I mean, I have a hard time believing that we don't mitigate more of this fair value gap. It's too big. You know, I'm just trying to be in the trade when it happens, because that's a nice move that it'll put in if it does that. Because as it stands right now, this loss right here, that'll be about $220 if that happens, which is, it's actually outside of my risk tolerance that I prefer. Okay, you're back above your 1-minute moving averages. Doesn't mean anything until you get back above that trend line right there. If it does come up here and breaks this, though, it will be the first time since hitting this that we set a higher high after a pullback. So that could be nice. If that ends up happening, then that could very well verify that this is just a sell side liquidity sweep and we're going to get continuation, which would be really nice. I'd like that, because I feel like Bitcoin is going to make an absolutely monstrous tear here soon. You know, especially if we can get above this apex again, take out 31,000. I mean, if we start challenging that swing high again, I have the swing high of the pattern at like 31,400, which is way up here. If we challenge that again up here, I mean, I have a hard time believing that we do not finally get the continuation and we start sizing up some of the bigger upside targets that I have. Tell you what, I would love it if this was the trade that I was in while that happened, because this is a big trade, you know. That would be huge. I mean, if we start sizing up 35K, I mean, 35K is on my radar in a big way. You know, I've been waiting for 35K ever since we had the initial push from and broke 31K like 2 weeks ago. You know, I've been waiting for that continuation move, because I've been saying it over and over and over again that I believe that the pause that we're having now, this consolidation in this area, this right here, I really feel like it's just an inducement zone. I really feel like it's just a pause mid-rally. My actual upside targets are pretty substantial on this. So going from the swing high in April down to the swing low in mid-June, like June 15th, I mean, that puts we are not even, like, we're chopping between the 786 and the like 31K, you know. If we get a move in here, I mean, 32.7 is at the bottom of a fair value gap, but the 1618 is all the way up here at pretty much 35,000. That's my target. You know, that is what I'm waiting for, you know, but we got a long way to go from there. But man, I tell you, I don't really see Bitcoin chopping around in this zone too much longer. You know, this is a long pause for a sideways consolidation like this. I really feel like it's an inducement zone, and I think the trend continues up, and I think it continues up in a really, really powerful way. You know, I think that we are very well, I mean, not just with the Fibonacci, but just the from the breakout, the flagpole here measurement. Now, if you go from the lowest point of that pattern, that I mean the measurable target is up here at 36.1. Give or take, $300 or $400. But I mean, that's the move that I'm looking for. And if that happens, man, like I want to be in Bitcoin when that happens, because that'd be a nice trade for me. We're definitely starting to push back up a little bit. I'm only down 29 on the trade right now, which means that we have retested the 100, I think. Yes, we have. Okay, that means we broke the swing high and this swing high. So now I'm looking for the bullish break of structure for continuation, and I am also adjusting this freaking stop loss. Holy cow. I'm going to put it right here underneath that order block and be grateful. So that's 25. So that'll be about $100 loss instead of a $230 loss. Much, much better. That is within my tolerance, actually. So now we're breaking the 100. We are almost back to my entry. I'm looking for the bullish break of structure here at 30,406, 405, 406, whatever. I'm not really all that surprised that we had such a strong rejection. It turns out, I mean, that really was a sell-side liquidity sweep right there. That's all that really was. I'm glad I moved. We have an imbalance here, and we have an imbalance here. Pretty substantial one. Frankly, I don't care. I want to see the move. I want to see Bitcoin disrespect this. I want to see it completely disrespect this giant fair value gap that we're in, because I'm not gonna feel safe until we've closed this gap. Because at any point Bitcoin can just come up here, hit any one of these points, and just go, just shrink. Bang, 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 bang. How much time we got left in the day? We got about 20 minutes left in the day. So, boy, we had a really great daily candle going too. But that looks nasty now. I can get rid of this. I was actually tracking two simultaneous ascending triangles here. There was a kind of an inner ascending triangle, and then there was a larger ascending triangle, both of which were relevant. So I was kind of tracking both of them at once. So on the 15-minute, we did find support just now on the 100 exponential moving average on the 15-minute chart. That's this right here. So now we are testing the 50-minute and the 9, and then this yellow line is the 20, the 21 on the 15-minute chart. But I'd rather zoom in a little bit because this is what people are scalping with. I want to see real-time movements. Give me support on the 9 EMA. Doing that, coming and touching that right there, will take out about 50% of this imbalance, which is about as good as you can hope for. Don't want to see another quick wick, because I'm going to get wrecked if I do. I know Bitcoin's going to make a move. I know it's going to make a really, really strong move. I thought for sure it was going to do it during that big rally today, that $800 rally. I was trading in and out of that thing. Like I was trading in and out so well. Like I think I went 80% accuracy on that. I still have to rally, or I still have to like tally everything up. But I mean, I took a lot of trades there, but I think I was sniping with about 80% accuracy on that. At one point I was up about 1150 on the day. I don't even know what I'm up now. No idea, because I've had like two or three losses of like 100 to like 130, right around there or something like that. Okay, so now what I want to see is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see it come down here, give a little swoop, and now I want to see it give me the bullish break of structure. It's time. Because you have the rally here, little partial decline, confirm support. I want to take this out, and if I take out this little swing high here, I'm almost assuredly going to challenge the other one. just like we did down here, actually. Or where was I? Was it down here? Actually, that move is really nice because we had the swing high here. We pushed, we broke, and then we came back and we just showed support over that swing high. So actually, that's really nice. That, I mean, that is set up beautifully to get continuation. And also, we are outside of that big resistance. So technically, that has been broken. So I'm going to stop tracking that. Anytime I see a rejection that I wasn't anticipating, it makes me think, what else am I missing? Because there's so much happening on these charts that, you know, support and resistance can sneak up on you out of nowhere. So this rejection here seems like it's in line with this and maybe a little bit here. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. Okay. What is that then? Okay, kind of a cup and handle, kind of a double bottom, possibly a triple bottom, but certainly higher lows. I mean, over and over again, higher lows. You know, yes, we did break the trend here. That feels like a sell side liquidity sweep, though. Like just to sweep the trend line liquidity. I mean, look where it came to, too. Like, I mean, it swept the stop losses that would have been directly below this little swing low. So that move makes perfect sense to me. Looking for the support on that trend line. Gonna need the push up. Maybe this. A little bit. There's definitely some interaction there. It's not very strong, but I mean, there also hasn't been a lot of opportunities for it to interact there. But I have rejection here, which coincides with the this area right here, where we had a bounce. So that makes sense. Then that trends down. We have the breakout, hold support. Yeah, okay. I mean, that could be nice. Gotta set a higher high. Like, higher lows are great. They're awesome for building structure, great for building support, but none of it means anything if you can't start setting higher highs, particularly at critical time frames. We're at the end of this, if you want to call it a consolidation pattern, sure. The fact that we haven't really had a lot of movement on the apex of this tells me that that is probably not the dominant pattern. More than likely, the dominant pattern is going to be this, an ascending wedge. Man, that makes me think that it's going to dump. That makes me think that we're not going to fill this fair value gap. Where would it be? Right here. Oh boy, that's tough, man. That's a tough call. Can't really justify beyond that. I mean, I could. I suppose I could like take this and put it here, but oh wait, let's get rid of that. I suppose that I could take this and put it here, but, and it's actually not bad, but it kind of voids that right there a little bit, and I don't want to do that. That makes sense, actually. Can I justify that back to here, though? Yes, I can. All right. That really makes the case that this was a sell-side liquidity sweep. There was no point in me having that there really anymore. Well, okay. Yeah, because there's a huge upside target, so I'll leave it. I don't really need this anymore. It's kind of clogging up the chart. Lower lows, lower highs. Just here. Building new support, new resistance. Building a pattern. Which is actually a good pattern. It's a bull pennant. Okay. Need the bounce. So my stop loss is right here below this order block here. But it's getting tested right now. This is probably going to be it for me, guys. That is an equal low there, which is actually kind of good news. Wow. If that candle can get back up here and have a small body on it, then that is a textbook sell side liquidity sweep. And that should get a nice move up. I must be missing a support here somewhere because that keeps happening. And I just don't see where it could be. Maybe here? Is that it? Oh my God, that's probably it right there. There's so many different ways you can draw these damn charts. Ugh. Felt like a fake out. Come on, give me the bullish break of structure. Let me get it. Let's break out of this stupid trend line here. Or at least the majority of it. Yeah, it definitely is. Right there. Man. It's a tough trade, man. It's a tough area. Very choppy. It's a sweat for sure. Whatever. I mean, initially it was going to be like a $220 loss. I'm now to the point where it's going to be about a $100 loss if it gets triggered. Hopefully, I will get. Man, it looks like it wants to push. I can't help it. I mean, even though it's a rough area, I can't help it. It seems like it wants to reverse. Almost back to my entry. I mean, I'm only down like 15 bucks on the trade right now. But it's so choppy. Like, I know if I bring it up here, I mean, I'm just going to get stopped instantly. I mean, I know that Bitcoin is about to make a move. I know that I can feel it. Like, it's going to come up and it's going to test this. I mean, how can it not? I'd be really surprised if it doesn't. I mean, this in and of itself is a perfect reversal. Like the short-term trend being down here, like this. I mean, I got the top here, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and a lower low. Then I have a market structure shift here, a breakout, a pullback, support, and now what should be a a bullish break of structure to the upside. That's what it feels like. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't think that, but just because of where this is all happening inside of a bearish fair value gap. But I mean, I can't help it. The structure looks good. It's exactly what I'm looking for. It's actually textbook. You know, it's a perfect reversal. I really want that to get up here so that I can adjust the stop loss, because I am not comfortable bringing it up here. So there it is. So there's the temporary break of structure. Now I need the break of that, and I'm officially in profit in the trade. So I will slide this up because I'm not really trying to take that big of an L. I'll put it here. That's it. If I get stopped, I get stopped. I will probably re-enter though, if that happens. Big 3-minute candle. That was a nice 3-minute candle. I mean, if we don't get a bullish break of structure after putting in a candle like that, I'll eat a squirrel starting at the tail. I have a hard time believing that that will not come up and challenge that. There's no way. There's no way it doesn't. There's nothing stopping it. What, this? That doesn't make sense. You watch. I know exactly what's about to happen. It's going to come down. It's going to test this. It's going to wick, take me out, and then it's going to rip. That's a higher high, higher lows. Like, I'm not getting out of the trades. Like, if it stops me out, I will simply take this one here, and I will put this where I got to put it below liquidity somewhere. 8%. Well, if that happens, I can't adjust my leverage in the middle of a trade, unfortunately. So the reason I brought this down is because I'm preparing to get stopped because I want to take another shot at this if it happens. I mean that is a golden cross right there. That is the 9 exponential crossing over the 100 exponential right there. I mean, it just is screaming reversal. It's screaming it. Where are you there? So you'd be 100. I feel too strongly about this to let the trade go so easily because I'm very, very confident that this is going to break this bullish break of structure. We are, in my opinion, I give it an 85% chance that we come up here to 30,431 and test the apex of this pattern at a minimum because here is the 200 exponential and then the 300 right there. The top of the channel that we are trading in is right here. I mean, there's no way we don't come up and try to test it one more time. No way. There is way too much negative space up here. Way too many orders that didn't get filled. There's no way I'm just going to let that trade go. That is decent support there. There's the touch of the bearish break or the bullish break of structure. I mean, there's no way we don't break it. No way. You're going to get a reattack. You are going to get a reattack. So I'm down to risking about $25 on the trade or so, which is fantastic. I mean, especially considering that, I mean, I think this is like a $90,000 trade or something. Yeah, pretty much 3 Bitcoin. So it's like 79,000 or something on this trade. It's big. We should be getting another reattack here. And I feel like if we even touch this green line, one little peak above it, I'll be shocked if we don't come up here and challenge this. And that will allow me to adjust my stop loss into a profit that makes sense. Don't do it. Don't you dare wick me out, man. Don't do it. What sucks is it will still be holding structure if it does. If it just comes down here and wicks me, like, it's still putting in a higher low here. It doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't even change the sentiment. Okay, there was a slight imbalance here. There is an inefficiency right here where my stop loss is, but I'm tired of adjusting. So I will simply take the $25 L if it happens, and then I'll look for re-entry. But have a hard time believing that we don't break this now. I mean, we're just putting in higher highs, higher lows, even more like even after this rejection that's very shallow. That's 20, not even $20 to the downside. So, or that, yeah, that's like a $15 move down. Like, there's no way we don't come up and challenge that. There's the wick. Oh my God, gross. Come on, dude. Bitcoin's so nasty sometimes, dude. Those wicks are always scary. They're so sketchy. We are absolutely testing that and getting the break to here right now. Dude, like there's no way that that doesn't happen. Even especially after that wick right there. I give it 30 seconds. After that candle closes, I will give it 20 seconds after this candle closes right now before it tests it again and breaks it. There's the test. 12 seconds, 10 seconds left. Push. Dude, push. It's not a cement wall. I'm looking at the damn order book. There's only like 50 Bitcoins for sale there. So I really don't understand how that... Oh, that's not true. Never mind. There's 660 for sale there. So there's a nice sell wall there. It doesn't matter. It should still push right through it. It's been tested too many times. There's no way it holds. That's going to push right now. Come on. There it is. Bang. Finally. Jesus. Up 60 on the trade. Putting it as... We'll put it here. Come on. Get up there. Test that so I can... Oh, God. I'm going to guarantee a profit. Screw it. Come what may. 411. I'll jump back in if I have to. Like, I'm done letting that happen. We're up 76 on the trade. I mean, there's not even really an apex to test, actually, because that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So, failed to trigger price. Did it enter? What happened? I didn't move it in time? Bro, you're kidding. That didn't just happen. $50 on that. All right, whatever. It's better than a $250 loss. All right. Okay, do your stupid little pullback. Let's go open, limit. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. Glutton for punishment, man. Trigger, close. This one will go faster, I think. Put it just below the 100 there. Looking for the quick move. Okay, there's a test of the bullish break of structure that we had. We have a new bullish break of structure that needs to occur. That's going to be here. That's what needs to be taken out. But, I mean, the pattern is pretty clear here. I mean, it's higher highs, higher lows, bullish break of structure, chopping through a very dangerous area. Got to get that move up. Hold support on that, and then we're going to reattack. Yeah, that's going back up. Go on. Might end up having to like do a bunch of little tiny scalp trades on this. Darn it. I wonder what happened on that. I thought I got that trade, or the stop loss move in time. Guess not. And are you really going to push down here and test that again? Oh my gosh. Maybe not. Never mind. Maybe so. It's exactly what it did. Dude, I can't get the entry that I really want. Frustrating. It is definitely frustrating sometimes. Give me that damn entry. Did you just pull all the way back to fill that order? Holy shit. Wow. Oh, that was good till close. My bad. I thought that was a filler kill. Well, I'm glad because it actually gave me a way better entry. Trigger. Open short. What are you talking about? I don't want to open short. I want to... I'm still under open. Trigger, 30 price, yeah. 33.60. There we go, close long. Still getting used to the damn exchange. Wow, are you really going to push down and stop me right away? Dude, come on. Volatile, volatile, volatile. I have no protection here either. It's very frustrating, man. Like, you're going to have moments like this, guys, I promise, where you know that your bias is right, and I know that mine is. I know that my bias is correct. I know that Bitcoin is going to have some sort of a powerful move to the upside in the next... I mean, I feel like it's going to happen any second. That's why I keep trying to get into these damn trades. And you're going to have moments like this where, like, you're so sure that your bias is correct, and you just keep getting chopped up over and over and over again. And it's very difficult to avoid because you know that you're going to get a big move, and you have to be in the trade to benefit from that. But sometimes it just takes a little bit longer than you really want it to, than you expect it to. And then you get in situations like what you've been seeing recently here on the channel as you know, when I'm doing my live trades, I'm actually getting chewed up with a lot of like choppiness, even though I'm getting the setups that I'm looking for. So, I mean, it's a very frustrating thing to experience. And I hope you guys never have to deal with it. God, I'm so hesitant to move this. To move it up because okay, apparently I don't get to move this. I don't get to move that trend line. Okay, that's fine. I can just stay there. That's weird. I mean, there you go. Thanks. It's because of stupid magnet, dude. Man, I really feel like I'm right here. I know we're going to come up here and challenge this. I know that we are. The top of this trend line is here. And we have not yet failed to retest it. After coming down here and holding support on this, that move is coming, damn it. I know it is. As long as when I'm wrong, I lose only about 50% compared to when I'm right. I have to win. When I win, I have to win twice as big as when I lose. So that's really what's important. Because even if I'm getting stopped out of half of my trades, if my profits are twice as big on my winning trades, then, I mean, I'm 25% profitable, which is amazing. I mean, that's a fantastic win rate. it's a good win rate. 50% is a good win rate. It's a good return rate. Okay, that's over. I have way too many freaking lines on here, bro. It sucks because they're all kind of relevant. I mean, that is gone now at this point. The ascending triangle, that's smoked at this point. Like, I'm not even bothering looking at it anymore. You know, had we came up during here, it still would have interacted with it, but we have already passed the apex of that pattern, so that is no longer relevant. Are you a higher high? You are a higher high, so... Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy that Bitcoin is just going to dump here. I don't. I'm looking for that push. I feel it's coming. I know it is. I mean, there are way too many orders that didn't get filled up here. That move is coming. We just need a little bit of good structure. And that could be it right there. Just that wick right there. The fact that we got that nice bounce there, that could be what we need to get that bullish break of structure. I knew it was coming, dude. Once we get through this choppy area, man, like, it's going to rip. Like, I mean, you can't dump Bitcoin that hard and it not give some sort of a recovery. You can't. Here comes the re-challenge of the bullish break of structure. It's close. If it touches it, I don't know. That you got the 200 right behind it, the 300 below that. I don't know if it's going to be violent, but I mean, there's the touch. It should push. I mean, it should peek its head. There it is. Now, will it blast right through here? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I mean, it's a bullish break of structure. It's a new high. Okay. There's the 200 getting taken out. Now we got to break the 300, and then we got to test the pattern. So I'm up 100 on this trade. I'm going to go ahead and lock in. I'm going to lock in, honestly, as much of that as possible. I'm going to put this right below here. I don't even care. Okay. So there's that one. So now I'm looking for the retest here. Really want the killer kill back. I forgot that I laid a trap for it earlier, and that's why. There we go. To get filled. Pretty good. It's decent. Put that below that. Trigger. You're going to be at 392. Okay, get the stop loss in place. And actually, I'm not messing around. I'm going to bring this right up. I'm not even going to give it a chance to, like, destroy me. I'm going to put it just below the 9 exponential. Give it a chance to push. Like, I'm going to keep it really tight on this until I can figure out. And I mean, I'm done getting chopped up. I don't want to get in another situation where I am potentially looking at a $200 or $220 loss. I mean, I had a good day. I'm not trying to ruin it. Just below the 9 EMA, that's where I'm looking for the bounce. That is a new swing high that needs to be broken right there. Looking for the bounce here and another bullish break of structure. And when you see the bullish breaks of structure start to happen quicker, that means that the bulls are getting more and more excited, which generally means that you're getting more volume too. And volume is good. You need volume in order to push the volatility the way you want. You need it to push the bias the way you want, the price the way you want. Excuse me.
Go, Ava.
Come say hi.
Go.
Just say hi real quick. Quick. Just say hi.
Hi.
Come here, Leo. Come say hi.
Hi.
Come here.
Hi.
Come here.
Hi.
Here. Sorry about that. Kids are running around right now. Okay, I mean, that's 2 bounces on the 9 EMA. I'm looking for another bullish break of structure here. Looking for the push up to this moving average here. I mean, ultimately, we need to come up and test this no matter what, which is at about 30,480. So, I mean, that'd be a nice trade. I mean, that'd be about, $200 for me or so if that pushes that high. There's the test. We should get the bullish break of structure here. It should peak above, especially with a bottom wick like that. So I'm looking for an almost instantaneous move to 30,446 if it does. Okay, there it is. Push. Push, push, push. There you go. That's good. Keep that there. So our loss is, as of right now, potentially like 30. That's not good. We need a faster move than that. A lot faster. Come on. Let's go. Otherwise, it's going to come right back down to my entry. Yep. Okay, so now we need to hold support over that. Get continuation. Come on. That's actually pretty good. I like that. That should build enough momentum to break this and get us up here. Here comes the attack of the final moving average on the 1-minute chart. That is the 300 exponential. So when that falls, I'll start sizing up the next time frame. So we're also interacting on the 3-minute. We're interacting with the 100 exponential, which is also the final moving average on the 3-minute chart. So those two are lined right up. Well, now what about the 5? 5, same deal. Wow, what the hell? We are interacting. So we have, is there something on the 15? The 21 exponential on the 15. Okay. We have all of the important short-term moving averages. We're testing the very last one of each one of those. The 21 exponential on the 15-minute, the 50 on the 5-minute, the 200 on the 3-minute, which just fell, and now we have the top of the pattern here. We're up 125 on the trade. We're going to go ahead and lock some of that, a lot of that in right there, because we're probably getting rejected there. Let's get the big push. I knew the move was coming. I knew it was. Come on, give me a higher high. If not, okay, so it took me out there. I knew it was coming. I knew it was. Oh, God. Come on. Let's get a good trade going. Come on. Now we're going to start getting some momentum. You watch. Open. Bang. Give me that. Give me that. Did you take it? Did not fill? Of course not. Why would it? Okay, so we're in there. It's going to be close. This is going to be tight. This is going to be hard to get. It's close. Down 19. Don't you dare double top on this. Gonna get the reattack at the top of the pattern. Gotta break it. Gotta break it really quickly, too. I guarantee you, we close even 2 1-minute candles underneath this 9 exponential, and we are absolutely coming back down to test down here. I guarantee it. I mean, we are above every moving average at this point. Hourly? Yes, we are above every moving average right now. 4 hour? Above all those. Daily? Above the dailies. As of right now, we are currently trading above every single exponential moving average that Bitcoin has. Got to hold support here. Got to get the push. It's a lot we're trading with. This is a bigger trade than before. Yeah, this is 3 Bitcoin even. So this is about... it's about 12% more than the last one. It's a decent trade. I mean, this is a $90,000 trade. So this is big. Come on. Push, push, push. We have to hold the 9 EMA here or we are absolutely coming down here. That is too violent of a move to not have a breakout. That is a double top up here on a trend line. So, I mean, that's sell side liquidity getting taken and it pushed down. The only saving grace here so far is that there was no fair value gap created. So it means that it was an efficient move. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's a textbook reversal, dude. It's so perfect. I mean, I'm happy that I was able to spot it when I did. I mean, I caught that, I believe, when did I take that first trade for you guys? I think it was back here. Yes, it was right here. So, I mean, that was a nice move. That was 30,340. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's a couple $100 ago. Really looking for that push up, man. It still hasn't happened. We're still not there yet. That's definitely the pattern. No doubt about it. Okay, did we hit a 1618? Did we hit the Fibonacci extension zone? No. Yes, we did. Oh, we did. We are testing the 1618 right now. Okay. I like this bounce here. So if the 1618 falls, then I'm sizing up the 2618 here. I can see that I had a wick here that's going to probably be a pain in the ass. Yeah, the 2618 is right there. That makes sense. Last couple trades, how we doing? Last one was 114. One before that was 60. Bunch of fees. Lost 50 on the one before that. Made 50, so that's washed out. 16 is nothing. 18, bunch of fees. Pretty much washes that out. 70. Minus 137. That's a nasty one. I think that was when I first started. What time was that at? At 5:40? No, okay, never mind. That was earlier today. There's one for 44, one for negative 124. There's a good one for 90, minus 97, minus 153. Where's all my good? There's one. There's the big one. I had one for 319 in the green today. Right before that was 193. Another one for 100.
Where did the tablet go?
I don't know, bud. I was looking for his tablet. Okay, so we are still above all of the moving averages in the 5-minute chart. I think that's pretty good. I mean, that is a clear recovery. I mean, we are almost done with this fair value gap here. It is almost finished. I'd be very surprised if we ran this deep into the fair value gap and then just tanked. I would be very, very surprised if that happened. Especially after this beautiful structure that's being put in. Like, I don't know, just something about that doesn't make sense to me. That it would just push down really hard. We do need a big move up though, because this is starting to look like it could. All it's really going to take is one nasty, like 15-minute or 30-minute candle with a really tall wick to the top, and it could push down really, really hard, really, really quickly. But I mean, on the 1 minute, the 3, the 5, and the 15, right up until that last candle that's being formed right now, it's looked beautiful. I mean, this is just textbook reversal. It's exactly what you want to see. This is starting to round a little bit, or I feel like it wants to round, but we have to set a higher low to do it, or maybe get like a quick sell side liquidity sweep of the previous swing high here and then get a push. But I really do feel like this is probably going to break out. I don't think that we tank down to like 30,300. I think that, man, tough. This is hard. It's a hard trade. Can't believe you didn't rip. Ugh, it's done. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for me. I'm going to get stopped out of here. It'd be about 130. So I think on the day, I think I'm up like, is that really not going to stop me? Whatever. I think on the day, I'm going to end at about like up like 700 or 800 or something like that. But this is a good example of when you're having like a really great day to kind of step back a little bit and make sure that your biases are correct. Double check the areas that you're trading in. The best, and I'm going to tell you this right now, if you're doing quick scalping, guys, the type of environment you want to trade in is this right here, not necessarily this. Me taking these trades is me just trying to get an entry that is a good entry for this move. That's going to stop me. It'd be 140. Smoke. All right, whatever. So I think that puts me up like 600 on the day. That sucks because I ended up giving back like $400, $500. So yeah, I think that's it for me for tonight, guys. I do appreciate your time and attention. Yeah, man, I guess that'll be all. I hope you guys learned something. I know it didn't seem like it, but I really did have fun doing this. It is still my favorite thing to do in the entire world. I'm John. Thank you for coming to Market Menace Trading, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.